There we go. All righty, guys. Hopefully you can hear us. Let us know down there below. I'm going to put this.
Trying out some new equipment that we got, not from the big guy in the red suit.
Here, scoot this way a little bit.
How's it going, Dreamers?
Oh, boy. Good Lord.
We're off to a great start.
That's a great start.
All right.
All right, guys, tuning in across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Welcome back. We'll get things started as soon as we start to see some people tune in here. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We see you guys already over there. Instagram starting to pop in, guys. Welcome back once again to the Bringin It Home Show. It is Friday, December 3rd here in Dubuque, Iowa, just down the road from the field, approximately 6:36 p.m. Central Time, guys. We apologize for the few-minute delay there, but Roman got a new mic set up here and a new camera over here for our viewers across Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. So we have a different view there. Good to see all you guys there. Jenna is in here. I see my dad.
Hope you're feeling better, girl.
My dad just popped in. Hi, Dad. Hello, Jenna.
Bullet
hello,
Bob. Bob, wait. Stop.
We got a shout-out moment.
Bob, you're getting a card in the mail, and you're going to get a big hug from me when I see you next, because you gave us some awesome ice cream. Now I'm going to let you talk on the brand and everything and some of the flavors, because this is from your home state. Yeah, I'm sure you're not a stranger to this. So thank you, Bob.
For those watching right now, Bob Pritchett from Cincinnati, Ohio. Bullet Bob is his moniker on social media, guys. So feel free to follow him down there. He's a great guy.
Good dude.
He's been a good friend of ours in the field now for several years.
He's a Reds fan.
He's been visiting the field far before either of us were actually alive.
Yep.
Which I think is even more remarkable about the whole situation. But Bob sent us originally a few months back during the summer a crate of Graeter's ice cream that during the summer was an unbelievable surprise. And we got another surprise, another thing of Graeter's ice cream. Unpaid for shout out to Graeter's. Graeter's, I believe, is from Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. It is an Ohio delicacy. It's an incredible ice cream, guys. If you've never tried Graeter's, you have to try Graeter's ice cream. It's amazing. But Bob, that Roman pulled up yesterday at our social media meeting, and he goes, "Hey, look, there's a surprise," and opened up the trunk, and there was a frozen crate of Graeter's ice cream from you, Bob. So thank you very much for that.
That styrofoam cooler does wonders, Bob.
That and the pumpkin pie flavor, man, that's my favorite. So that's pretty great.
Graeter's has that locked down.
There we go. And my mom's in here now. Hi, Mom. Got the whole family here.
Hi, Mom.
Regardless, Bob, we always appreciate your support. You among many others, but those nice little gifts and those fun surprise packages really are awesome.
You know what? I think he's trying to keep up with me.
I think so, Mal. I know Mal's watching right now.
I think there's a little bit of a kissing contest going on there. I'm not sure, but bleep. Well, can I say that? Well, I just did. So happy Friday, Dreamers. It is December 3rd, 6:38 now, if I can see correctly. Contacts are drying up on me. It's December. Holy cow. How was your Thanksgiving, my friend?
Thanksgiving was great. My parents are watching right now too. So, I went home back to Ohio.
So you got to be careful what you say.
Yeah, I was back in Athens, Ohio, for a week for Thanksgiving. There it was it was a nice break from school. For those of you who don't know, I'm a senior right now in college, so I am beginning finals week here on Monday. So I'm cramming, but it was a much needed week off of everything to go back home, spend time with family, and to just kind of relax, eat some great food. I was the baker. I did a dairy and sugar-free and gluten-free pumpkin pie that was incredible. So I did that, and then I also did an apple crumble, and the apple crumble turned out pretty good.
That sounds delicious.
I know it's difficult to cook things that are very sweet in a healthy manner, but I think it was accomplished. My dad, who's watching, the pumpkin pie connoisseur, he approved of it, guys. So for those of you who follow my Tucker FOD movie site Instagram account, I posted a fun picture in the apron from Mal in Australia. So that was kind of a fun. My Thanksgiving picture was with me baking and the apron from Mal in Australia. So nonetheless, Thanksgiving was awesome. It was awesome. How about you?
Fantastic. Good. I'm sorry. I was reading some of the comments there. Bullet Bob says he can't ever compete with Mal because he's the man. And then Mal will get into what he said there in a minute. But no, mine was good. I went to my parents' house, got to see the in-laws a little bit. Just chilled. Took some much needed time.
Did you breathe for a little bit?
To breathe? Yeah. Played guitar.
You actually inhaled oxygen?
Yeah, and my brother surprised me a little bit. He's always been musically inclined, so have I. But he gave up trumpet like 6 years ago after his freshman year at UNI. Shout out UNI, and University of Northern Iowa. And he played in 2 months. He picked up bass.
Wow.
He brings out a bass guitar and starts playing Monkey Wrench for those Foo Fighter fans out there. And he called me up a month ago and he said, hey, can you know the song Monkey Wrench by the Foo Fighters? I said, yeah. He says, can you learn that on guitar? I'm like, sure. He says, I have a surprise for you for Thanksgiving. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Jaw drop, was awesome. I was super impressed. So we had fun. We jammed for about 3 hours the night before Thanksgiving. Had some turkey.
That's pretty good.
Made the stuffing, carved the bird myself. That was fun.
There you go.
So yeah, it was good. It
was good. Yeah, it was. I'm glad to hear that we both spent quality family time. We hope you guys were able to do the same or spend it with some friends.
Yeah.
It's I think the longer we are a part of the Field of Dreams, I think the more meaningful Thanksgiving becomes, and holidays full of thanks, because we're not only thankful for our families, but for you guys as well, and for what you enable us to do. So I took a little moment to reflect there over Thanksgiving, to think about the year that we've had. It's hard not to be thankful for the blessings that have been put into our lives. So really a great holiday and a great time to reflect and think about you guys, think about our family. It was enjoyable. It seemed like good weather. I had great weather.
Yeah, it was great.
Like you had good weather. We're actually still having.
It's in the upper 50s.
We've had 50-degree weather here. We haven't,
which is basically unheard of.
Knock on wood, but we haven't seen serious snow. Which is also great.
Few flurries here and there, but nothing serious. Yeah. Nothing has stuck yet.
Yeah.
So that's good. And now it's officially the holiday season.
It is.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Night 6, Hanukkah, shout out.
That's right. Shout out.
So happy holidays to all, whatever you celebrate and whoever you're celebrating with this holiday season. We hope you do it safely. We hope you have a wonderful time and enjoy the holidays. So Speaking of which.
Well, before we do that, guys, let us know, as we've been doing the past couple of shows, across all the platforms here. We're, viewing across four different platforms. We're live right now. Let us know in the comments on whatever platform you're on, where you are watching from right now, or at least a state or a country for that matter. It'd be great to know where the Dreamers are tuning in. We actually got the chance to look at a map yesterday of where everyone is tuning in social media wise on a daily basis.
Yep.
And nearly every country was covered.
Yeah.
From Uganda to Russia to the U.S. to Canada, there are Dreamers tuning into social media platforms for the Field of Dreams
Australia,
everywhere,
Nigeria.
So it's awesome to kind of know where you guys are watching from and to see how far Dream Nation has it's grown. It is really grown. It's amazing.
Well, it's just a testament to you guys and the power of a simple dream, and a movie that is so powerful and hits so many chords in our lives and speaks true. They're timeless. All the messages, all the morals, the values that are extracted from the film. Mm-hmm. I love it. I watched it last month, cried again. Never has lost its impact on me, and the site has never lost its impact.
That's
on
right.
Me too. So continues to grow, and thank you for your appreciation. Now, to Mal's comment a few moments ago, the holidays are here. They have hit the Field of Dreams. Check out our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter accounts on social, and you'll see the lights at the Field of Dreams. They're up. Christmas trees up. The menorah is up as well in the house. So holidays are in full swing.
That's right.
Mal says that we've overdone it with the lights. This year we did go out. We went big. Spent some bucks on some Christmas lights. Those things are expensive now, my goodness. But the bridge is all illuminated now, so you can see the field. You don't need the field lights on for the site to shine now this time of year. It's the Christmas lights that are doing the illuminating of the field and the movie site. It's actually very, very pretty. So
Yeah.
I was there at 5 a.m. the other night and took those pictures of the shot there in the dark. So hopefully that it looked pretty good.
That's right.
I think.
Instagram, we have St. Cloud, Minnesota tuning in. We got our good buddy Mal over in Australia, who is talking about how hot it is there. It is obviously summer in Australia, and he is talking, it is very, very hot there. So Minnesota, I'm assuming, is not so hot, but St. Cloud of Minnesota and Australia both tuning in so far. I can see here.
Hey, too lazy to be creative 18. How's it going?
Got a great question there. Do the fences have a COA, certificate of authenticity?
Yes, they do. However, I don't have one on me. Otherwise, I'd show it. But yes, they do. So definitely check those out. And thank you for the good segue. $150 a section. Those actually do not, they are not on our website. So they are excluded from any specials that are going on our online store, just to be clear on that. $150 a section just because they are extremely limited. Sections are going fast. So if you would like them, the original sections of the backstop fencing, please go ahead, call 563-875-8404, our office line, or you can go ahead and email us info@FODmoviesite to place your order. We are, because we're heading into the off season, our staff is out of the office during the weekends, but Monday through Friday, go ahead, leave your voicemail. If you want to call over the weekend, do it, leave a voicemail or drop us a line via email. That's fine. We'll get back to you at our earliest convenience Monday through Friday. So definitely place your order. They're awesome. Have already given some to some friends for the holidays as a thank you. So they've been very well received. And if you're a diehard fan of the movie, you need to check it out. So to business.
To business.
Baseball is a business. And unfortunately,
baseball is a business.
We're finding that out again, or we're reminded of it. So this is the ninth work stoppage in Major League Baseball history. 26-year drought.
Lockout.
And, well, the 26th, so 26 years ago, there was a work stoppage, but it was a strike. Not a lockout.
That's an
There's a
interesting
difference.
piece.
Yes. So it was on the player side. So for those, let me just educate, and I'm not an expert on this either, but lockout, strike. Basically, collective bargaining agreement it's a 5-year collective bargaining agreement that was done in 2016, enacted through the 2021 season. That has expired as of Wednesday. So, as of Wednesday, things have stopped, a pause. The interaction between players and the owners of the 30 franchises in Major League Baseball have ceased. The sport as we know it is completely frozen. There's no interaction between the franchises and the players, who are essentially the employees. And in the 44, 45, 94, 95 season, there was a work stoppage as well, but that was on the player side. This time with a lockout, it's on the club side and the ownership side. So the owners have said, nope, players stay at home, don't come to work. Whereas in 94, 95, when there was no World Series,
right,
which the Expos were in existence back at that time,
true.
if it shows you anything. And
Yep.
a lot of people think that the Expos would have won that.
If it wouldn't have gone that way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but you never know. But
That's
anyway, so that's where we are.
And this includes players cannot seek rehab assignments. They cannot go through strength and conditioning protocol.
Free agency, no trades, nothing.
The images going around of gates being locked to players coming in right now and no contact. That is a very solid representation of what is going on right now. There isn't any contact or anything right now between the two parties. Nothing can go on. People can't go in and out. Players, again, they can't go into the stadiums right now. And actually, I read the other day that goes beyond stadiums, and that covers, I believe, all facilities.
Spring training facilities, everything. Anything owned by a franchise is classified as office space. So the players, employees are not able to utilize any of those facilities. They have to train on their own and use their own training facilities and personal training staff. Which
interesting piece to note as far as strength and conditioning and training goes for professional athletes, for college athletes. I can speak to this from my knowledge. Many of those athletes, if not all of them, primarily use third-party resources for strength and conditioning. They have their own strength and conditioning staff. A lot of them have built their own gyms, if not own their own gyms. So there's ways to go around it. It's even interesting to see.
So fear not.
Yeah, it's even interesting to see some of the players who are on the cusp of in Major League Baseball and between minor league baseball. They're getting very creative with their training right now. And it's kind of cool to see how that takes shape in something like this.
Well, you can see it with Cole Liniac, a former baseball player as well, Chicago Cub. That's why I know that.
Baseball Accelerator.
That's right, Baseball Accelerator. But he's big on crossing into different sports and diversifying yourself, and that way being able to hone in skills, motor skills, fine motor skills, to be able to translate into baseball and carry over into other sports. And for example, like tight ends in NFL are usually basketball players, the tall, lengthy guys. Basketball is where they go for the jump ball. Up in the NFL, that's where they get a lot of the skill set carries over. So you're seeing that. The interesting thing to me as well, and it's sad because I think I can speak for a lot that are watching right now, Dream Nation, Friday here, December 3rd, the Bringin It Home Show. Tucker LaBelle, social media coordinator, director of operations, Roman Weinberg. Happy to have you. Welcome. February 1st is usually the most important day for diehard baseball fans that we mark on the calendar after the World Series is over, after the player awards are over, because that's when pitchers and catchers report. Well, unfortunately this year, unless something changes, right? But usually these lockouts are pretty lengthy, so we'll see. You never know. Every time this happens, it's so unpredictable. The NHL, the last time that they went on a lockout, it was lengthy and half their season was
good point.
removed.
That's a good comparison. Also to note, this freezes any type of negotiations or deals between the players and organizations.
No trades, free agents.
Right
everything.
Before this happened, we were on the cusp of several major deals happening.
Well, and you know what?
Huge deals.
Can we talk about one in particular?
Scherzer?
Yeah.
Scherzer.
38 years old.
38 years old, being paid $300+ million in his contract. That is more than
for
several
3 years,
teams' full payrolls.
3-year deal. He's going to be in his 40s, still pitching.
If that deal goes through, because right now, again, just like everything else, it's completely frozen. So you got to wonder what the impact on a lot of these trades and stuff is. It gives the players more time to think about it. I'm sure they're talking to their agents about strategy.
I don't think there's much for him to think about.
Right. With that type of money going around, you don't. That's crazy. And I didn't know the Mets had that kind of payroll. That's what's actually surprising to me is that I wouldn't have seen them up there.
I agree.
That's really interesting.
You want to know one thing though that you bring up a good point, and that actually is kind of where I was heading with this conversation, is that Major League Baseball is really the only league out there in the 4 major professional sports out there: the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, and now the MLB, that is structured in a way to where there's a luxury tax. There's no hard cap on salary. So these players have been benefiting from that. And the 94-95 season was really the proponent for that started the whole thing snowballing into work stoppages that carried over into other professional sports.
How do you feel about what were your thoughts and feelings hearing the pitch on how much Scherzer was going to get paid? What did that make you feel, hearing that he was going to get paid that much?
I think it's a precedent, and I think you're going to see a lot of aces, Kershaw looking for a big payday. But injury-prone players, Scherzer has been able to. He has withstood the test of time, I think. And he's only been recently injured. Right. That sidelined him, but you've got Kershaw that has had this kind of plague his whole career.
True that.
So at some point, age does play a factor.
It does.
So so you're going to see these pitchers hold out even longer. We saw Bryce Harper We saw a couple, Machado,
Mm-hmm.
extending out longer and longer into the offseason, even
Right.
though past
Right.
when pitchers and catchers have reported to
Right.
where they only get a week with their new teammates
Right.
to get acclimated
True.
to the game.
True.
I think you're going to see an extension in the waiting time, especially
True.
with pitchers, because they know how vital a good starting rotation is to a competitive franchise. And I think you're going to see basically a game of chicken.
Yeah.
Extended out.
That's a good
It's going to get
That's a good
worse
point.
because you're going to get these older players
Yeah.
that think they're worth big money. So I think you're going to see a 50-50 kind of split. I think you're going to see the Matt Scherzer players that are top notch and the cream of the crop at that age and still have it, because it's it's what good are you to me lately?
True.
What have you done
True.
for me lately?
Yeah.
Scherzer still has it. Clayton still got it.
Yeah.
So I think those two are going to be fine. But those that were great in the past and are struggling, I think if they stay firm and ask for a big payday, I don't know if they get it.
And I even go from I myself am a college athlete. I've been an athlete my whole life. I love seeing athletes get big paydays. I agree with Bob, though, in his comment a minute ago here that I think there needs to be a salary cap.
Yeah,
I also, just from a society,
it kind of bugs me.
From a society standpoint, it's a little bit of a turnoff to a lot of what big sports represent, because you think about, these teachers out here are educating kids who are barely scraping by, and these people that are needed in society that get so overlooked. And then you look at a player who's getting paid $300 million plus to play his sport for a few years. And you have to wonder, can we set a salary cap to at least make it more appealing to younger players getting in there, to players who are, coming up from the minor league system? And then also, can we show that we're going to give our money back? And a lot of players are great at that. Many players have incredible charities and organizations and give their money back and give in big ways. But you have to wonder, how can we get better at setting a salary cap and showing that we're going to give money back in a different way? And I don't think, obviously, I think players can make money outside of their contract to no end. Just look at brand endorsements, brand deals, anything like that. There is more money to be made outside of a salary cap. But I would agree with Bob that I think there does need to be a little bit of salary cap, just to show that these people aren't above anyone else with what they're making. And it's like you have to view it just from a standpoint of society who are not baseball fans. That's the other thing as well.
Yeah, it just really depends. I kind of try and stay in the middle of it and unbiased, because you can say the same thing about college athletes now being able to endorse themselves, be endorsers for products and use their likeness and getting paid. And that's been the debate for decades. Is it justifiable for them to get a payday? And is it right? Is it wrong?
What are the morals?
Right.
Of it, really?
It's the ethical debate of professional sports.
That's true.
And obviously there's millions and millions of dollars being made in the sports industry, in the sports betting industry now, that's just blowing up.
Also to mention, he'll be paid $12 million a year for the next 3 years from the Nationals as well, on top of what he's getting paid.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm just like.
That's $36 million for 3 years
of not playing for that team.
Right.
Which is
nuts.
He played his card right. I'll tell you that. He saw it. He was, no offense to the guy for
genius
utilizing what he has and the ability he has. You can't argue with that, because if there is no salary cap in place, you can't shame the guy for wanting to do the best for himself.
So what is going to happen, and we'll find out shortly within the next few months here, but with spring training being delayed and everything else, how far into the season that it may go? What do we look at for a timeline for spring training?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to shorten it pretty significantly, but also with free agents and things like that. How does that work?
I personally think what's going to happen is this is probably going to go, again, this could be resolved tomorrow. You don't know how long this is going to take. There is no timeline on it. But my personal perspective, which may be a healthy one in this sake, is that spring training will probably be totally restructured, and it may be spring training from the home sites of each team. And we've seen that in the past, that they'll play majority of their spring training stuff from their home site, and they'll play it more regional. Which, if that's the case, and it's a 2-week spring training, whatever it may be, that these guys are working right now outside of what would be spring training coming up. Like they're going to get the work in, they're going to get at bats, they're going to be playing. They get together in groups.
Well, like you touched on,
crazy, yeah.
These professional athletes, especially NFL players, spend literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on their body.
Just training, literally training and health. That's it. And the other thing to talk about here is that when professional sports pause or when there's an off season, these guys are still playing together as a group.
The work still continues.
There's no stoppage on what they're getting
There's
done.
Outfielder camps. There's pitcher clinics. I mean, these players, the collaboration is awesome. And I love that among all sports to see that.
Absolutely.
And speaking of which, the Olympics are right around the corner again. That's crazy.
This is insane.
6 months from the Summer Olympics, and now so it threw me for a loop. I honestly completely forgot about it just because of the whole pandemic that they were back to back this year, but I'm ecstatic. I love the Olympics, always have. And the Winter Olympics I'm particularly fond of. So always have the thought of Miracle.
I was going to say, you weren't thinking of curling?
Oh, well, curling too. Yeah, of course. But shout out to United States hockey, because the women reigning gold medalists from the previous Olympics. So hopefully they come back with a vengeance. But yeah, exciting stuff. Anyway, good stuff for sports. Unfortunately, not great news for baseball. So that brings us to the letter from the office of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball regarding the lockout.
Yeah. So if you guys may have noticed, if you follow, Major League Baseball or their media entities on a daily basis, because of the lockout, they have had to shift all their media to retired players and baseball history. So if you go on MLB.com, you're not going to see stuff right now about current players, trades, all that kind of stuff. It is strictly going to be historical stuff, archival stuff. That's not a bad thing. Just looking on their site right now, we were actually able to find some pretty cool archival stuff. So if you need a baseball fix in the meantime, MLB.com does have some pretty great archival stuff. But the big thing trending right now across
World
social
Masters
media.
games in Japan, yes.
Yeah, everything right now trending across social media is titled "A Letter to Baseball Fans." And this comes from the Office of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball. Robert Manfred, as we know, is the commissioner. And I'll read this letter off to you here so you don't have to do the reading yourself. But this is kind of the message right now coming from the commissioner and Major League Baseball to the fans. It says, "To our fans, I first want to thank you for your continued support of the great game of baseball. This past season, we were reminded of how the national pastime can bring us together and restore our hope despite the difficult challenges of a global pandemic. As we begin to emerge from one of the darkest periods in our history, our ballparks were filled with fans, the games were filled with excitement, and millions of families felt joy of watching baseball together. That is why I'm so disappointed about the situation in which our game finds itself today. Despite the league's best efforts to make a deal with the Players Association, we were unable to extend our 26-year-long history of labor peace and come to an agreement with the MLBPA, MLB Players Association, before the current CBA expired. Therefore, we have been forced to commence a lockout on Major League Baseball players effective at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time on December 2nd. I want to explain to you how we got here and why we have to take this action today. Simply put, we believe that an off-season lockout is the best mechanism to protect the 2022 season. We hope that the lockout will jumpstart the negotiations and get us to an agreement that will allow the season to start on time. This defensive lockout was necessary because the Players Association vision of Major League Baseball would threaten the ability to most teams to be competitive. It's simply not a viable option. From the beginning, the MLBPA has been unwilling to move from their starting position, compromise, or collaborate on solutions. When we began negotiations over an agreement, the Players Association already had a contract that they wouldn't trade for any other sports. Baseball's players have no salary cap and are not subjected to a maximum length of dollar amount on contracts. In fact, only MLB has guaranteed contracts that run 10 or more years and in excess of $300 million. We have not proposed anything that would change these fundamentals. While we have heard repeatedly that free agency is broken, in the month of November, $1.7 billion was committed to free agents, smashing the prior record for nearly 4 times. By the end of the offseason, clubs will have committed more money to players than in any offseason of MLB history. We worked hard to find compromise while making the system even better for players. By addressing concerns raised by Players Association, we offered to establish a minimum payroll for all clubs to meet for the first time in baseball history, to allow the majority of players to reach free agency earlier through an age-based system that would eliminate any claims of service time manipulation, and to increase compensation for all young players, including increases in minimum salary. When negotiations lacked momentum, we tried to create some by offering to accept the universal designated hitter, to create a new draft system using a lottery similar to other leagues, and to increase the competitive balance tax threshold that affects only a small number of teams. We have had challenges before with respect to making labor agreements, and we have overcome those challenges every single time during my tenure. Regrettably, it appears that the Players Association came to the bargaining table with the strategy of confrontation over compromise. They never wavered from collectively the most extreme set of proposals in their history, including significant cuts to the revenue sharing system, a weakening of the competitive balance tax, and shortening the period of time that players play for their teams. All of these changes would make our game less competitive, not more. To be clear, this is hard, but important step does not necessarily mean games will be canceled. In fact, we are taking this step now because it accelerates the urgency for an agreement with as much runway as possible to avoid doing damage to the 2022 season. Delaying this process further would only put spring training, opening day, and the rest of season further at risk, and we cannot allow an expired agreement to again cause an in-season strike and a missed World Series like we experienced in 1994. We all owe you, our fans, better than that. Today is a difficult day for baseball, but as I have said all year, there is a path to a fair agreement, and we will find it. I do not doubt that the league and players share a fundamental appreciation for this game and a commitment to its fans. I remain optimistic that both sides will seize the opportunity to work together to grow, protect, and strengthen the game we love. MLB is ready to work around the clock to meet that goal. I urge the Player Association to join us at the table. Signed, Robert D. Manfred Jr., Commissioner of Major League Baseball.
There you have it.
So that right there is the letter from Robert Manfred, the commissioner, to the fans, which is a cool piece of communication there for people to read. If you guys didn't catch everything I said there, explaining what's going on right now,
MajorLeagueBaseball.com.
Yeah, MLB.com has this letter on there. You can find it on their Twitter account. It's all over the place, and it's simply titled "A Letter to Baseball Fans." So that is what that was, that long read I just had there as well.
Well, we've talked that to death.
That was a lot. You got different things coming in here. That's an interesting perspective there. My dad points out that this lockout has an impact on small businesses connected to Major League Baseball, including businesses that are located near spring training, vendors, coaches, and many layers beyond the field. Mal and Bob both agreeing with my dad there on that one.
Yep.
That's true though, Dad. That's a good point, that this baseball as a whole impacts everyone. We actually, the crazy thing is now we at the Field of Dreams and in Dyersville are also impacted in whatever Major League Baseball does, because we're the site of the game now, which is an interesting facet to consider as well. And then we think about our good friends at Baseballism, and they do a lot of work at spring training every year. So that's also another thing. How will that shift occur? What will it look like? How long does this last? I think everyone hopes for the shorter, not the longer, but I think there's an interesting point that Manfred points out there, that this is a time to heal and collect ourselves and come to an agreement, and that this was an important time to do so that it wouldn't push anything even further back. Yeah. There's
a reason that it expired in December.
Right. Very true.
All right. So moving forward. Yeah.
Wow.
Good job.
Thank
you need a drink of water or something after.
That made you write a letter. Goodness gracious.
A wordy letter.
Yeah. Wow.
Any other comments, guys? Drop them in the comments below. But we'll leave it to you to take what you will from our conversation, and we just do it in obviously the good spirit of the game, and we love the game as you do, as the commissioner of Major League Baseball does, as all the players, all the franchises. We're all in it for the love of the game. So it'll pan out the way it needs to pan out, and
all in due time.
Yep. So moving forward, right around the corner, next year is crazy. Just a few months away. I know it seems like it's a ways off, but it's going to be here before we know it. We are excited, counting down the days to April 1st when we get to open our doors up to the public. But don't misunderstand. If you're in the area, you still want to come out and see the field, you can do that. Gates are open. Come out, take some pictures. Unfortunately, everything is closed down. The Baseballism store is down. If you do want to take a tour, you can certainly do that inside the house, 30-minute guided home tours, but you do have to reserve your spot, your ticket for a home tour 48 hours in advance online only. So you can do that. Unfortunately, everything else is closed. But
it's a great activity to do in the winter and cold months.
Mhm.
You can get out of the freezing cold wind that will soon arrive, I'm sure, and into the warm and well-decorated home for a tour.
Yeah.
That's
Again,
as well.
check pictures on our social media pages for the nice decorating job of our staff, our home tour guide staff. Teresa, shout out. Thank you. Did a wonderful job. And she even made customized ornaments for the staff, which is awesome.
That's
So yours is hanging on the tree.
There we go.
All right.
I have an ornament.
That's
I
it.
have a chair. There you go.
Next year, we're counting down the days, and we've got some exciting stuff. Not only with a game that people can't stop talking about, but also
It's a
other
game,
things.
yeah.
There's so many other things that we're excited about. One of which is the series coming back, the Ghost Player shows.
You can't. That's
They're
original.
coming back.
That's OG.
Yep, it is. It is. And guess what? You're hearing it here. Earth-shattering news. You heard it here. Here's the scoop before it goes anywhere. It's not even on our website yet. Ghost Saturday shows are back, and the dates are set. July 2nd, July 16th, July 30th, and September 3rd. Boom.
We'll be at that site all day those days.
That's right. I'm fired up,
I am
man.
too.
I'm ready. If you build it.
If you haven't seen the original Ghost Players walk out of the corn to the soundtrack, that is still heart-wrenching to us after how many times. But I can tell you firsthand that for those people who are just seeing it for the first time, it is like Earth has stopped moving. Everything is frozen, and all that matters is those players walking from the corn. There's a video that went viral of that happening on our TikTok account. Several million views. Go to TikTok, get an idea of what it's like, but you're not going to experience it fully
until
unless
you
come
get
to
there
a
in
Ghost Saturday.
person. That's right.
It's a spectacle that you'll see nowhere else, quite literally.
And the best part, it's a free show. It's great. Come out, bring the entire family. But the big thing,
Bob will bring the entire family.
Oh, we know that for a
Yes.
fact.
Yes.
But you can also get you can experience it in a special way and sit on the porch of the farmhouse.
Boy, that's a hot commodity.
Yeah. VIP tickets. Those always go like hotcakes. So I'm serious, not joking. If you're interested in one of those, you have to be on the lookout. We're going to be making an announcement on this Monday of next week on social, on our website. They'll be live. VIP tickets will be up for grabs. So check it out Monday night.
Those
we'll
will
have
go
a special post
very
on social
quickly.
within a week.
This is hotter than Black Friday.
Yeah. So 4 shows.
You need to right now after this, put a notification in your phone.
Mm-hmm.
What time, what day?
There's only 15 tickets, guys. 15 people can sit on the porch
at a great price.
At a great price.
Like,
great price. 12 seats on the porch, 3 on the actual porch swing of the house. Included in on that, well, I'm not going to get into the details. Check our website out, fodmoviesite.com. There is a specific page for the Ghost Player shows. You just have to go down events on the drop-down menu. You'll find it on our website. So go to our website, check it out. Great Christmas gift for those that are looking for something unique, not just a typical toy or present.
An experience.
Yeah. Not just a materialistic
gift. A one-of-a-kind experience. These guys are like an old band that are touring around that probably don't have much longer touring. So your opportunity to see these guys, the window is small. So make sure you seize it. You got to come see the Ghost Players.
You have to do it.
Original Ghost Players.
Yep. Well, and the cool thing, the best way I think of it is I would compare it to like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Absolutely.
Meets baseball.
100%.
They come out of the corn to the soundtrack of the movie. They play the Ghost Player or the Ghostbusters music as well. They get the kids involved. There's a bunch of gags that they have that they joke around and use, and they interact with the audience. It's a great interactive show, and you can't leave like any day at the field. If you're there, you can't leave with a smile without a smile on your face. This will bring a smile to your face and even a tear to your eye.
Yeah.
It's just lighthearted, wholesome fun.
It's
at
incredible.
A wholesome place.
It's incredible.
Can't
It
be
is. Again, you can go to as many Major League Baseball games as you want, as good as they are. You can go to as many minor league games as you want. But you really can only go to one place on a certain day and see the ghost players. And it's not a simulation. It's nothing like that. These are the real guys walking out of the real corn at the real Field of Dreams.
Yep.
It's pretty real.
And you know it's important to a lot of people when everybody stops what they're doing. Like the national anthem.
Yeah.
When that soundtrack plays and everybody stops,
Just
the concession
totally
stand,
Yep.
the line is out the door, people are talking, people are ordering. No, they
Dead
step away from the
silent,
counter and they look
what's
out the
going on.
window.
Yep.
And even our concession stand staff, everybody, you and I are sitting there creating content.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
we're having to witness it. But, you know, no matter how busy we are, where we're at, you stop what you're doing and you just watch them come out. As many times as we've seen it now, it doesn't get old.
I still, every time I see it, whether I have a camera for you guys in one hand or whatever it may be, I still pause. I have the camera in one hand or on a tripod. I take my phone out and I'm like Snapchatting on Instagram. I'm showing all my friends back in Ohio what the heck we're going on here.
Yeah,
it is. It's
amazing.
Again, you have to witness it to fully understand what we're saying.
Yep. So it's great. Holiday sale on our website by the end of the day, Sunday, the 5th of December. So just 2 days to take advantage of this great holiday deal. Any purchase over $65, you get a free jar of Field of Dreams corn. That's right, little corny, but it works. It was harvested last fall, November of 2020, and I think it was November 1st, but I don't remember for sure. I think it was November 1st.
That sounds right,
year.
yeah.
So it's usually the first weekend of the month, and we were lucky enough to have been there and witnessed it. It was I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was cold and miserable last year.
It was freezing cold.
This year, though, it
great.
was outstanding. So hopefully you enjoyed the content on that, the corn being harvested and everything. We certainly got an afternoon's worth of content on that.
We got tons
a lot
of
of story content
coming this winter for you guys to hold you over as well.
That's right. Outstanding. We're super excited. Hopefully you like those Iowa fun facts. Of course, we're an Iowa attraction. We are obviously an international tourist attraction, but we're located in Iowa. We're proud of that, and there's so many good things about
We
Iowa.
would like to say we're the Iowa attraction.
Oh, of course.
That's to put it modestly.
Yeah, hey, if we toot our own horn, if we have to, I guess we can. So, guys, check out our website. There's going to be another good holiday sale coming up right around the corner for next week. And if you're interested in getting your framed sections of backstop fencing, you need to get them in by next Friday. That's a week from today. You need to get them in so that way we can get them to you in time for Christmas, because I'm not joking. Our carpenter really is crafting these by hand.
Yeah, he's a real carpenter.
Piece by piece.
He's one
I went down. I should have taken pictures of his whole setup. He has it down to a science. I saw it yesterday. It literally his entire basement, table after table of just the components of fences, the wood, saws, sawdust everywhere. I mean, he's got it down. It's awesome. I wanted to help him, but I didn't.
Well, that's it right there.
That's it. Yeah. So awesome stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed another episode of the Bringin It Home Show. Tucker LaBelle.
That's right.
Roman Weinberg. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Stay warm. Hopefully you don't have to try that hard to stay warm since it's
hopefully you guys get some sunshine and you have a catch or something out there,
Yeah, enjoy it. Get some yard work done if you have to while we have some limited time and nice weather yet here this season.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, happy holidays. We'll see you right here next week, a week from today, the 10th of December. One step closer to the new year as we turn the page.
That's right. All right, guys, stay well, stay healthy, and as always,
keep dreaming.
All right, we'll see you guys.